Before we get into it, we'll tell you about the tweet that was sent out. I think it was Saturday. That basically Ottawa, if they're looking to try and make a move to trade Matthew Joseph, then they're going to have to basically give up a first and something. That's what people are looking for. Boy, is anybody are either one of you two fine gentlemen going to trade a first round pick to clear up space in order to get Shane Pinto signed?
I don't think so. It's a big ask, man. But that's, when you're in that position, teams know they have the leverage. So that's what the ask is going to be. It doesn't mean you settle there, but giving up a first to get a third line center, whether he can score 20 or not, seems like a lot. I just don't know that it's the right deal. But that being said, if you think about it, the core is here. So you can be a little less rigid with your picks because you have all the players and you don't want to give up a first round pick. I get that, but everybody's here. Everybody's on long-term contracts. You can probably part with one to get it in the grand scheme of things. I don't, if I'm sitting in the GM's chair, that's a hard ask for me to get rid of, but you got 3 years at 2.95 off. You'd have to really, really sit on that one. But I don't think I would do it.
I mean, now I will throw out what Tyler Boucher is a first round pick, for instance, or JBD he's a second, right? But high end, is that maybe enough to swing it? But boy, I still don't want to have to give up those assets. But you're painted in the corner now. You have no choice to get Shane Pinto in here. You've got to move some contracts, and I don't think they want to move Dominic Kubalik at all. And I know people have brought up that name. I think the organization wants him in the lineup.
He's only making $2 million, right? He's making $2 million. Yeah. It's on a 1-year deal. You just traded DeBrincat. He was the central piece besides the conditional first round or whatever it's going to be, Boston's pick or Detroit's. I like Kubalik for talking to some. I was just down in London last week and talking to a lot of people that watched him closely last year. Some of my buddies in Windsor, they like him.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pretend I watched Kubalik play every game last year, but from what I've heard, will be a perfect third line player for the Ottawa Senators at a great price on a 1-year deal. So I don't think you move him. I want to see how camp plays out and to see how Tyler Clevin does. Is he ready to start the season with the Ottawa Senators? Does he need some seasoning? See how Jacob Bernard-Docker does. You got Hamonic and you have Brandstrom making, what's Brandstrom at $2 million? Yeah, Hamonic's just around there too, 1.5. It's going to be tough. You just gave up Nick Paul. You got Joseph back. I know you don't win all your trades, but I'd like to see Joseph play a little bit and maybe get his value up, especially if Ottawa gets off to a great start and Joseph's an integral, a good player for you. Maybe too hard to move him right now. I just looked at his stats. I had no idea he only had 3 goals last year. I remember watching, and to be fair to Joseph, he had a stint last year when he was playing with Shane Pinto and Tyler Mott, where I thought he was in a great role. He was using his speed, creating offense, and then when that line broke up, he didn't really have an identity on the team, and he just was a guy. He was just a guy that kind of skated fast, but I think there's more there. I would hate to give up a first rounder just to get rid of him. It'd be nice if we could make a package deal. Maybe you throw in somebody and get something in return. Maybe it's not that much, but don't give up a draft pick. Don't give up a first round pick.
That's hard. That's a big ask.
Just for shits and giggles, I went through on dailyfaceoff.com and went through all the third line centers they have currently listed. The average of all of them, which includes William Nylander now moving to third line center, which obviously when you have 87 points last season and 40 goals isn't a third line center. The average is 14 goals and 37 points, and Pinto is 20 goals, 35 points. So he's right in there. But the 3 guys I thought were comparables, Noah Cates in Philly, which is he's 24, had 36 points. He just signed a deal 2 years, I think it was, at 2.625 a year. Edmonton's Ryan McLeod, 11 goals, 23 points. Again, he's 24. He's 2.1 mil. And then Cody Glass is very similar to me, if you will. 24, 35 points, 14 goals. He makes 2.5 million. I think it's 2.5 is the number, but because he doesn't have any leverage, maybe he comes in at 2.1, 2.2, but then it's only a 2-year deal, right? And then he wants to get paid.
Yeah. It's a tough ask too, because Cody Glass is able to sign 2.5 in a tax-free spot. So it's like making 2.8. Players know that.
Right.
He also had 14 goals. I know it's 6 goals less, but goals are the premium in the league. You score, you get paid. And he scored 20 goals as a guy that played how many minutes a game? A lot less than a lot of players when you really break it down. So he knows his worth, but he also has no leverage. It's both sides think they're in the winning position here. I'd like to see someone, and you know, if you're asking Shane Pinto if 2.2 is enough, he's saying no. But he might have to cave on that at this point. You know, he might have to cave on that. If you want to play and you want to get paid down the road, you got to take a little off the top, right?
So
maybe just pick up the phone, call Tampa. You know, we were just kidding. You know what? You guys take him back.
Yeah. We want our mulligan.
Can I have a mulligan on that shot?
I guess the interesting part is if you are Shane Pinto, right? You're young, 22 years old. It's really your first big contract negotiation because the other one's the entry level. Are you getting antsy? Are you are they thinking you might just cave and go, I'll sign the deal. I just want to get into camp and get going here.
That's what it is right now, Bob. It's this. They're going to test you. They're going to test you to see how many times you're going to call your agent and say, I just want to sign. I just want to sign. There's no breaking point yet. No regular season games have been missed yet. There's no pressure point yet. The first date is come and gone, the start of camp. The next pressure point will be the start of the regular season. Do we get to that? We'll see, but that'll be the first like real pressure point because a lot of guys have missed camp before. Brady did it. And so, yeah, we'll see.